What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Enigmatica 2 Expert. Oh yeah, guys. So this Enderman just warped here like right as I was about to start the video. Get out of here, Enderman. Nobody likes you. Huh. Oh boy. All right, well, come over here for a second. Oh, we gotta go way over here to get away from the sound. Okay. So yeah, last episode we ended up making this precision assembler. And we didn't get a chance to set it up. So it does require a multi-block structure. I've done advanced rocketry before, and in order to see the blocks that is required to set up this precision assembler, we need to make ourselves the hollow lens thing, which we made a while ago, or a hollow projector, I guess. Or did we get this from a reward? I can't remember. Anyway, we had this in our system. So you can do a shift right click on this guy, and then you can see all the different machines that are available. If you want to make a rolling machine, you click on there. If you want to make electrolyzer, in our case, we're doing the precision assembling machine. So it is now set to that. Now, if you hover over this hollow projector, it tells you all the different items that you need in order to make this thing, right? So we need one precision assembler. We need 2 glass. So that's easy enough. We need gold coil or copper coil or titanium or aluminum or iridium. I assume the iridium is the best. And we saw last episode how to make iridium, so I went ahead and I pre-made 2 iridium coils. All right, so we need a motor, advanced, enhanced, or elite motor. Looks like we have 2 elite motors already made. What do those things cost? I don't think we made those. I think we got those as a reward. So those require titanium coils, diamond gear, iridium plates, and dilithium. Have we even got dilithium? No. Okay, so those are super expensive. Or at least super expensive for us at this point. All right, that's fine. The better the tier the motor, I believe the faster the machine goes. It says machine speed 4.0 on there. So I don't know if you can mix and match different ones. Like have like a really crappy one and a good one. And it goes like a little bit better than anyway. So we have that. We need machine structure, output hatch, input hatch, creative power plug, power input plug, IC2 plug, fluid output hatch, or fluid input hatch times 7. Okay, so that means that between input, item input, item output, or fluid input output, we need 7 of those, or machine structure. Right. I guess the first thing that we need to do, let's get over. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set it up over here. I was kind of deciding where I wanted to put it. I think what we're going to end up doing, I think I'm going to make the reactor 2 blocks lower and move it all down so we can't see it on this level. And that way that opens up a lot more space for us to do stuff. Or maybe I'll even move it down further than that. It'll just be like in the ground. I mean, we don't need to see this thing. We know what it does as long as it's doing it. And then I also got rid of the computer that was controlling this thing, because it's just on wide open throttle right now. We don't care about like being or turning the power up and down. We're just filling it up as much as possible because that is now going into this induction casing right here, which is going to take literally forever for us to fill this. And by the time we get to the point where we can fill it, we'll probably be switching over to the Dragon power storage, the Draconic Evolution power storage. So anyway, this thing, you can right click on it and then it places down the structure, which I think we want to place right there. How do I do this? Okay, yeah, I was placing the wrong thing. Maybe right there. Okay, so it gives us a block of space to walk around. So, man, this is really hard to see. So that is the different blocks that we can do. Precision assembler block goes here. And I think you can do like a shift scroll. Okay, so that's the full size of the machine. And then you can also do like layer by layer if you keep scrolling. Aha. All right, so let's get all the way down to the bottom layer. So we need our 2 motors. That does not have to be on your hotbar, but you are going to want to shift scroll it. Oh man, do those have to be facing the right way? I'm not actually sure how these things work. Something like that. Okay, so now we have all those blocks. So these are our coils, so we can place those down. And then fluid input, output, precision assembler. We know that block for sure. All right, so let's scroll up. These are the 7 blocks. Is that 7? Yeah. So let's scroll up. So, or I guess scroll up. So we got 2 pieces of glass that go here. And then that's a machine structure, a whole lot of machine structure. How many machine structure do we have? We have 5 right now. So can we craft 5 additional ones? So we have 11 total. We had 6 on us. So let's see. Can I just place these in here? Like so, like so. Yep, these are all just machine structure. Looks like hollow in the center. And then we need 2 pieces of glass. Okay, so let's scroll up again. And these are all machine structure, it looks like. So yeah, we're going to have to make more of these things. Now, these are expensive blocks. As we saw last time, let's take a look. Machine structure. We did the whole, like, making the signalum cell frame thing, which requires that. We had to do the tree fluid extractor, or I guess arboreal extractor, to get the, whatever it was, the resin that we have to put through the machine. The fractionating still to get the rosin. Yeah, then we have to do this with the molten lumium and all of this. And we have like most of this stuff like kind of craftable, but it's not fully auto craftable. So I had already crafted up, I think 6 of these things, the signalum cell frames. Yeah, we have 5 of them remaining. So if we tell the system to create the machine structure, we should be able to craft up, I don't know, like 20 of those. Oh, right. So we cannot do that because we are missing crystal binder. So we had crystal binder already in our system. Yeah, we had crystal binder. We got that from a reward or something, but we no longer have that stuff. So crystal binder is kind of one of those things that we never even set up a craft for, because this was one of those things that was kind of annoying. So we need calcium sulfate, pulverized obsidian, magnesium dust, and crushed whatever the heck that is. Let's make a pattern for this. So if we come over here, we do this, that one. Okay, so this will help us out to determine which items we have in AutoCraft and which ones we do not. I'm trying to figure out where in the system I want to put these items. I guess I kind of want to stick them. Well, no, that's the modular machinery. I was thinking we had advanced rocketry stuff in here. I guess kind of we do right here. So crystal binder. So if I want to craft that, all right, so we need magnesium dust, this item, and the calcium sulfite. So magnesium dust, let's figure out how we make that. That is made by putting magnesium ore in a pulverizer. Do we have magnesium ore? We do. Or we could do, I guess, the magnesium ingot into, we might just do it that way instead of doing the ore, because I think this we're just going to crush up anyway. Let's just throw it in here. Yeah, we'll just crush all that stuff up. It'll smelt it down. So we'll just make a recipe that says the ingot gets turned into the dust. All right, I'll just let that finish up. So magnesium. So 1 ingot turns into 1 dust, and we'll put that into the pulverizer, I guess. Do we have a room for that? We don't. Actually, did I set up another? I might have set up, no, I did not. I was thinking I might have set up another interface behind it, and since we didn't do that, we need to do that. So let's go take a look back here. Oh boy. All right, I need to make more room back here behind these machines so I can see what I'm doing. Which one is this one? The induction smelter has an interface back here. Ah, that's the machine I did that on. So the pulverizer's right here. We will do a input from the back. Yeah, and then we'll put a interface, cable interface there. So we're using 7 channels right now off this 1 cable, so we can add that no problem. Interface. One of those, and we'll turn to the cable variant, and we'll slap that right here and place that like that. So now we should be able to make that dust. If I want to make 1. Easy. Okay, so that works just fine. Now we have more room in our pulverizer for later when we need to pulverize more things. Put another torch back there so we're not spawning monsters, and we will... Oh man. I can't click. There. Then we will cover that back up so we don't see what's behind there. Awesome. All right, so we got one of those things completed here. So we have pulverized obsidian, magnesium dust. Both of those are covered. So calcium sulfate comes from calcium sulfate solution in a crystallizer. Let's actually back this up. So we're going to need calcium sulfate comes from a crystallizer with calcium sulfate solution, right? So the calcium sulfate solution, we're going to need a chemical reactor that has both sulfuric acid and fluorite water in it. So sulfuric acid, oh boy, this comes from, wait a second, sulfuric acid comes from sulfuric acid. So I'm guessing one of these, this must be a gas and this must be like a fluid, but it doesn't really say that here. Anyway, so in order to make the sulfuric acid, we need water vapor plus sulfur trioxide. This seems very familiar to doing like the 5x ore processing through mechanism. I think this is one of the steps in order to do that. So sulfur trioxide comes from sulfur dioxide and oxygen in a chemical infuser. Oxygen you can just get from electrolytic separator. There might be another way. I'm not seeing it actually. So electrolytic separator separates water into hydrogen and oxygen. Man, this is such a convoluted thing in order to do this, but this is something that we're going to have to do. So yeah, the fluoride water sulfuric acid turns into calcium sulfate solution and hydrofluoric acid. I'm not sure if the hydrofluoric acid is something that we're going to need. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, no idea. Anyway, and then the fluorite water comes from a fluid enricher with water and crushed fluorite. Is there any other way to get that? No. And the crushed fluorite comes from fluorite. Or we can get it from diorite. Is there a way to get this? So if we have peridot, we can put that in front of the atomic reconstructor and turn it into that. Okay, so there is a lot of stuff going on here. Way more than I was considering for this. And then the crushed stuff, we need these guys, which we can put rubies in front of the atomic reconstructor as well. Is there another way? I don't think so. Is it worth setting up an automation for this? Maybe. I don't really know how many we need. I think it might just be a thing where I make 2 or 3 stacks of this manually and just set up the auto crafting recipes. And when we need this, we can make more of it. So let me go ahead and start doing some stuff off camera here. There's a whole lot of machines that we need to make in order to get this thing crafting. So let me get to that and we'll be right back, guys. Whew, so I've been busy during that last break. Yeah, we ended up making another one of our auto crafting storage thingies. Yeah, so we have the molecular assemblers and the ME interfaces, 32 of both of them, fully upgraded, 160 of these acceleration cards. Yeah, we have everything on AutoCraft that wasn't that bad, but then trying to figure out where this is going to go, routing the cable, getting all that hooked up. So the way that works now is this 32 channels, this dense cable goes to this one goes over to that one. Yeah, we were definitely running out of space for our auto crafting patterns, and now that's no longer an issue. So all the patterns that I started making just now are right here, and then I started moving some of like the nuclear craft stuff together, and then I think there is probably more of the mechanism stuff somewhere in all of these, but yeah, so we got lots of empty space now. Yeah, we're getting pretty cramped in here before, but yeah, lots of room now, which is fantastic. Okay, so now that we have all that space for the auto crafting, I decided to start auto crafting a lot of the stuff that we needed and start placing down those machines so we can try and figure out what it is that we're wanting to do. So since this is kind of an auto craft that is very specific for one single item, I decided that we're gonna put it under our floor here. It's nothing particularly interesting to look at, but yeah, it was kind of complicated to figure out. So I ended up putting signs on top of each of these machines to kind of say what they are making. These machines really aren't hooked up. We don't have power to them. We don't have items going in, items coming out, anything like that. But I was kind of trying to lay these down in some kind of an order that made sense. So yeah, we're going to be ending up making this calcium sulfate. But in order to do that, we need that calcium sulfate solution, which this chemical reactor will make. But it gets that from both sulfuric acid in the liquid form and from fluoride water. So that's made in a fluid enricher. Yep, we're going to need more water for this, I do believe. We need water over here in our electrolytic separator to make oxygen, which is going to go into this chemical infuser to make sulfur trioxide with sulfur dioxide from this chemical oxidizer, which is taking sulfur. All of that, the sulfur trioxide, gets mixed and put into another chemical infuser with water vapor to make sulfuric acid in a gaseous form. That sulfuric acid gets put over into a rotary condensator to condense it down to a liquid. So then we make sulfuric acid liquid, and then that gets pushed over this way. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're kind of going through JEI and you're like, okay, so I need this and this. And it gets so confusing. There's so many screens. But here's something to note. When you're on this screen here looking at the condensating, you see both of these say sulfuric acid, but you're taking the gas sulfuric acid and you're putting it into a liquid. And you can see how there's two different items here, but they're both named the same thing. So if we get rid of those, so this sulfuric acid takes us to this screen. If I click this one, this is the gas version. If I press A and I bookmark it, it looks like this. So now when I click on this one, it takes us to this screen. Yeah, anyway, just something to note. There is two different sulfuric acids. They look slightly different as the icons, but one's gas and one is the fluid, right? So anyway, we got all of that stuff figured out. So now the next portion of this is to get power hooked up to all these machines and then get the items going in that need to be going in. So the sulfur dioxide machine needs sulfur, which we have plenty of. So we're going to need an item export bus, or I guess export bus. Yeah, we have that on AutoCraft, so we should be able to craft one of those up quite quickly. So we're going to need something going into there, and then like so. Let me glass cable, grab some of these guys, and I'll start running this cable up so I know where our inputs and outputs are. So that is an item that needs to be input. Then we have fluoride water over here. This does require, let's grab that. Fluoride water. Grab this one. So that requires the crushed fluoride. So I did make a stack of this fluoride, and that was the peridot and the laser. So I have a recipe to make the crushed variant of that. So again, we're going to need an export bus. Or maybe, I don't know the best way to go about this. Maybe it's not even a good idea to have an export bus on here completely in case we need that crushed fluoride for something else. I don't know. But then we're also going to need a crafting card since that is a craftable item. Yep, and then we're going to need crushed fluoride. Oh, it looks like we already have some in the system. Okay, that's fine. So we'll put that right here. Okay, so that's an input for the sulfur. That's an input for the crushed fluoride. And I think everything else is fine. So we're going to need the water sources here. So we'll need an input for this one to get water for turning into the gas. Yep. Okay, so then we're getting gas or water vapor over here. Yeah, water vapor. And then this one needed water as well. I think we can stick one right there. Yeah, so that's getting the water in there very slowly, but it is getting it. Okay, so power, and then get the applied energistics hooked up. And then we also need a way to transfer that fluid over. So I guess we need a conduit. This ender fluid conduit should work just fine. So we will extract, always active, and insert. Okay. Let me get the power hooked up. We'll get the applied energistics hooked up, and we'll see if we can get ourselves this calcium sulfate. All right, guys. So we have the machines hooked up. They all have power. Everything has charged up, meaning we're full on sulfur. We're full on sulfur dioxide. Like, we're all the way good. We're full of sulfuric acid fluid, and this is full over here. So as far as the whole sulfuric acid portion of this, we're all good to go. Now, I haven't tried putting any fluoride in here, so let's do that now. What I'm curious is, if we put in one fluoride dust, do we get one calcium sulfate out? And if so, instead of just exporting the calcium sulfate over here, I want to do an interface crafting recipe 1-to-1 or something. So yeah, anyway, let's try that. If we put in one of these crushed fluorides, it gets processed. That fluid comes over here. And calcium sulfate, hydrofluoric acid. Oh. Do we? Yeah, we need like some kind of a filter here. This hydrofluoric acid is something that we're getting as a product of what we're doing, but we don't want the hydrofluoric acid as far as I know. We only want the calcium sulfate. Now, if we don't deal with this hydrofluoric acid, we're going to have an issue. So it looks like in here, Ender IO fluid this. So it looks like we can make ourselves some kind of a filter. Do we not have any buckets? I guess I don't have any. Let's craft up a few buckets. I think we're going to need 2 of these. Okay. So on this one, on the receiving end, insert, we're going to do this. And we want the actually, I guess we can do this right here. Calcium sulfate solution. This. Oh, it won't let us do it from over on that side. Ew. Okay, let's go back. So yes. You can search for the item in JEI, and then it'll allow you to click and drag it to right here. So now we have calcium sulfate solution as a filter into this crystallizer. Now, it's not allowing us to do that, and I think that's because this hydrofluoric acid is blocking the operation. So let's grab ourselves, a tank, portable tank is fine. We'll place that over here for now. And then I need to get myself another conduit. Ender fluid, we'll place that here. This will be insert. Oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't set this thing to extract, did I? Oh, I did set it to extract. Okay, yeah. So we have our calcium sulfate. So that is correct. So we want to do that here. We want this to be set to, actually, since we have that gone, we can place this closer. We can just place it right here. So we want this to be set to insert. We're going to put the filter right here. And we're going to search for hydro. I don't even know how to spell it. Hydrofluoric. Yeah, that's here. So click and then drag this over here. Okay, so hydrofluoric acid should end up over here. The calcium sulfate should end up over here. And it looks like it is 1-to-1. So let's grab another fluoride. I could never learn how to spell these items. So it looks like, yeah, 1-to-1. We place that in here and we end up with a calcium sulfate over here. That's awesome. Okay, so what that means is we will set this up as an interface instead of an export bus. Like so, maybe. What is it doing? Oh, it's going to make some pure source quartz. These are things I should just tell the system to craft up like about 1,000 of them or something so we have them. We don't have to wait on them one at a time every time we need them. Okay, so we're going to place that here. Let's go make ourselves a pattern that says one of the fluoride, the crushed fluoride, equals a calcium. Okay, so we want a processing pattern. We want one of these. It's going to equal one of those. Dude, this is awesome. Very, very awesome. I don't remember the name of that machine is. Otherwise, I'd use the interface terminal. Oh, I guess I couldn't do that anyway because we don't have this connected. Okay, so we can do that. So calcium sulfate, and then we need some more ME glass cables. I'm just running that right off this existing line we already had over here. Is that in line? Not quite. All right, we'll just run it right like so. Oh. Actually, I guess that's fine. You can get rid of this, that, and that one. Yeah, there we go. Guess that's a little cleaner, a little bit. All right, so now we should, oh no, I guess not. We need to extract out of here and put back into that. So item, conduit. Oh boy, we need more of those. Looks like we do have them on AutoCraft. Let's tell it to make 10, so I'll make a few more. All right, so there's that. And then we can just do this. Extract, always active, and then insert. Cool. So that should complete the loop. So when I tell the system to make some calcium sulfate, it should just process everything if I have connected this correctly. Sweet. That is what I like to see. Man, that was such a complicated auto crafting thing. I guess the only other thing that we can do here, let's grab, what are they called? The facade? Oh, I only have one. I need to make some more of those. Yeah, the facades from Ender.io, you use to cover up the cable so they look just like the floor or whatever. F7, make sure we're not spawning monsters. Nope, looks like everything's cool. All right, so I'll have to clean that up a little bit, get rid of the exposed conduit. Yeah, that's really, really awesome. Okay, so now that we are at that point, oh my goodness, we were trying to make this calcium sulfate so we can make this crystal binder. I guess we can get rid of a lot of this other stuff. The crystal binder, what else do we need? The crushed this. So I guess that's a pretty simple thing. I can just throw some rubies in, we'll have that, and just set up a pulverizer recipe. All right, so now that that is all done, we have the ability to craft this crystal binder, which will allow us to make these machine structures. We were trying to make like 20 of those earlier. Yeah, and we weren't able to because we didn't have that crystal binder, but now it says that we can craft all that stuff. So I am kind of curious how long it is going to take for all these things to be crafted. And we already got that crystal binder. That was really fast. I did have to make the recipe for the ruby stuff, whatever the ruby gets turned into, to be crushed, but yeah, that's not a big deal. Yeah, we're processing that calcium sulfate. I could put in a few more speed upgrades for the fluorite and then the cold calcium sulfate nuclear craft machines. They're already using 5,000 FE per tick right now, so it's a little slow, but how often are we going to be crafting these things? I don't know. So what is it stuck on right now? It says we're trying to craft 6 more of those, but what's going on? Oh boy. Did something break over here? Can I? Oh, I can't get down there right there. Right here? So that's done. Oh, that hydrofluoric acid isn't being extracted. Oh, yeah, something did break for sure. So maybe instead of having a portable tank here, we could do like some kind of a fluid trash can. I mean, I guess in the meantime, we could do the upgrade kit thing. This, just make it really large storage. There we go. So all that should go out of there. That should come over here. That should finish up our recipe. And everything should be all happy. Looks like maybe. Yes. Awesome. So machine structure, 24 of those bad boys now. Very good. Where did I pop down? I do that quite often. Like I'll break a block, go down, and then be like, where did I break that block? And the next thing I know, my whole floor is like Swiss cheese. Okay. So this, we needed to place, not that. It'd be nice if it was quartz, but we need to place these all along the top here. Okay, so those are all done. So then we needed to finish up this. So we need a fluid input. Well, hold on. What machine are we making here? This is the precision assembler. If we look at the uses for that, yeah, we can see that we're putting in items and we're taking out items. So we just need energy, item, input, item, output. Okay. So this mod, even though this is from Advanced Rocketry, you have to search for another mod. Volp's library. Yeah, I don't know why they do this. But anyway, we need an input hatch, we need an output hatch, and then we need power input plug. So all of those do require the machine structure. That requires a small battery. I think we should be able to craft all these things, but I am going to make auto crafts for all of them. So input hatch, machine structure plus chest. We need to switch this over to that recipe. Okay, so there's the input. There's an output. What's the difference between these? Oh, just which side the chest is on. Okay, and then we needed the power input. So we need that guy. And then, of course, we are going to need a recipe for these batteries because, oh, that's another problem here. We don't have this iron rod. We have this one. So just craft that up and swap that manually like this. We could put the or dictionary substitutions on and that would solve it as well, but I prefer having the exact item be in the recipe. Just a personal preference. All right, so I'll place these guys in here like so. And then we need the hatch, both an input and output. Oh, I get all of these blocks on me. Okay, input, output. All right, and then we need the power input plug. Where'd it go? Right there. Cool. And then we need the machine structure to fill in the rest of the blocks. Okay. So quest complete, precision assembler. Goodness, that took a minute. So I'm going to put the input hatch here. Whoops, not there. Put the input here. We'll put the output here. And then that way we can put an interface here and then pipe the items directly back into the interface. And then the power we can just put wherever. I guess we can stick it on the back or something so we don't have to look at it. Yeah, something like that should be just fine. And then the rest of these have to be structure blocks. I think that's all we need. Yeah, right click on it. We got the multi-block assembled. If I right click on here, now we can see some stuff. So we can turn it on and off. Speed 64x. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if there's a way for us to change it. That's the motors. Those are those two diamond motors or whatever those are, the ultimate ones. So we need power here. So let's grab a flux plug. We can kind of place that underneath, I suppose. Like so. And cover that back up. Cool. So we have power. Now it just needs the items in order to operate. So yeah, we can see the different things that we can craft here. Yeah, this is what we were trying to do. So we need enhanced circuit, printed logic, and a circuit board. So again, we need an interface. Just like so. I'll place that here. And then we also need to get ourselves an item conduit, I suppose, or something. So we can extract out of this one, always active, and insert into this one. Okay, so now that just needs to be hooked up to applied energistics, and I don't have a good way to do that at the moment. I can probably grab off that somehow and bring it over here. So let me get that hooked up, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so AE is hooked up. Let's go ahead and give this thing a try. I just made a pattern for the item IO circuit board. So if we tell it to make that, oh, you know what? This isn't going to work. I just remembered that we need to change this. Back to this one. This needs to, oh, I guess I can't change it to any item. Okay. I was thinking that I needed to change it to the allow substitutions, but you can't do it like this. So we'll try that again. Now it says that there's 2 available, but it only requires 1. I don't know why it's trying to do this twice. Do I have another recipe in here for this particular thing? Let's try again. I do. All right, so let's get rid of that one. That's the problem. This guy. So that one's the bad one. And then we will replace it with this one like so. Okay. So again, we try that. So yeah, again, we have a problem. I wonder, can I click one into there? Let's try something here. So this is for when we shift click out of JEI. If I look for an enhanced circuit board, circuit, yeah, we have these. If I take this and I click it here, just make sure I delete that, reset that. Is it going to like this one now, or is this just never going to work because reasons? Hopefully it'll work now. Huh, it looks like it works now. All right, so I'll tell it to start. Okay, so probably one of the first things we should do is make sure it's turned on. It's not. Okay. It's turned on. Did it just do something? Did it just do something like really fast? Oh my, it just did. All right, so let's try crafting another one. We have everything available. I tell it to go. that goes really fast. So either the packs I've played in before, they had this machine like super slowed down, or this particular pack, they have it turned way up. One of the two. That seems to go really fast. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. So we got this machine completely hooked up. Yep. And all we gotta do is just put the patterns in here and we will get everything we need a little bit cheaper. And then I guess next episode, we should be looking at doing some more advanced rocketry stuff. Yeah, there's a few more of these machines we're gonna have to hook up, and we're gonna be going to other planets. I'm fairly certain that's part of the progression of this mod pack. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.